obviously we started from a place of not knowing how to approach and not knowing some of these cold outbound side. Has been a lot of help there. So I would recommend anybody who's in that kind of position would be a great benefit to work with you all. And yeah, I was kind of pleasantly surprised with demand created and meetings booked. Some of these could be bigger opportunity, which is great to see. Some of those folks who started out as just a cold outreach that have converted. So it's great to see that top of funnel kind of growing again. I would definitely recommend you guys, Digital Creatives. I think it's been a great experience. We've gotten results.
All right, guys, today we are conducting a client interview here with Indy. He is the co-founder and CTO at Angler AI. So today we'll be talking about his experience working with us in terms of lead generation and outbound. So Indy, first of all, how are you today?
Doing well, Prakar. Yeah.
Great. So first of all, tell me a little bit about Angler AI, what you guys do, which market and niche do you serve to kick off this interview?
Yeah, so Angler AI is a basically an AI app for profitable growth for consumer brands that includes kind of e-commerce, direct to consumer, also some like subscription and try before you buy type of product. So we are a seed stage venture backed company, about 2 years old, and we basically believe we can apply AI to kind of make performance marketing better for consumer brands on platforms like Meta, Google, TikTok, etc. And we've seen great results so far. So we're trying to grow and get the word out about us.
Amazing. Good to hear. Okay, so I believe we started working towards the end of February, starting March is when we started working together. Talk to me about what were you guys doing for lead generation for outbound before working with us? Were you targeting small businesses, enterprise? What was your ICP like? Just talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a bit broad and kind of changing, as you can imagine, in sort of a small startup. We've sort of been pivoting exactly the ICP and the product we offer. But generally, before we started working with you guys, it was a mix of enterprise and mid-market. Enterprise customers tended to not be on Shopify, and then kind of mid-market were Shopify brands. We had quite a bit of referral from our network. So my co-founder Rito and I both come from working within consumer brands as kind of leading data teams. And so we had a lot of people we worked with in the past who had moved on to new places and could use our help. So some big enterprise companies. So that's where we got a lot of those from. And then I think we had maybe just started our lead generation, but to be honest, it was sort of like a lead list of Shopify brands, but we didn't have much kind of operational ability around reaching out to them kind of cold. So if we had warm intros, we took all of those, many of those through, and they kind of did trials with us and converted. But if we didn't, then kind of cold outbound was not really a capability.
So just to reiterate, you guys didn't really have any cold outbound infrastructure, email sending platform, and things like that in place, or a real strategy to basically conduct a successful cold outreach via cold email, right?
Yep, that's right.
Talk to us about the challenges you were facing regarding if you guys were doing any cold outreach. Were there any frustrations? Were there any problems that you did not know what to do, or how are you guys approaching it? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we definitely didn't have the technical and operational experience on doing cold outbound. So I think there's a risk and a danger as a founder to kind of cold emailing people from your own inbox, which we did some tests just to see, who would respond. And we quickly realized that wasn't a good idea from a, spam detection and all of that kind of thing. So, obviously not having the experience there meant that we didn't really want to push it too far on our own without kind of getting inboxes and warming them up and all of that kind of stuff. So we kind of paused there before we went too far down that road.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Sending from your main domains without the correct inbox is definitely not a good idea.
And then I think to be honest, I don't think we really had any cold responses, at that point. So we did a little bit of dipping our toes in terms of contacting people on LinkedIn and some emails, but I don't think we had much in the way of response. If it was warm, then yes. If it was truly cold, then no.
Yeah, e-com is a tough market because they get bombarded with all sorts of offers and emails. So that makes sense
Yep.
that that was happening. Okay, so we started working, and when we started working, what problems were you trying to solve in collaboration with us specifically?
Yep. Yeah. So kind of building on that previous point, I think we wanted a team that had previous experience with setting up kind of cold outbound email with the right with the right scale, warming of inboxes, and then kind of the setups for tracking, for follow up, and then kind of the content and messaging around that too. We had some ideas, I think, on content and messaging, but that's where having some what works and what doesn't work as a hypothesis, and then of course you need to test into it. So that's kind of what we were looking to really gain from engaging is that experience, that know-how, and then a lot of the operations and technical setup for that cold email outbound.
Right. And how has the experience been like working with us now that we have been working for about 4 to 5 months now in terms of operations that we have set up, in terms of email sending platforms, in terms of campaigns that we have created, campaigns we have tested, copywriting, automations that we have set up, regularly following up with people in terms of booking the meetings on your guys' calendar. How has the overall experience been in working with us for you guys?
Yeah, overall very positive. So kind of trying to breaking that down into some of the things you mentioned, Prakar. So the setup was pretty easy and pretty fast on our end in terms of I think you guys asked for a few a few credentials and things needed, and sort of like I think calendar link and maybe some minor things, and then I think you guys went and did a lot of setup, got domains, got inboxes, started warming those up, and then kind of created a lot of content angles and things. And then, I guess the other part is we had a list to start from, and you kind of went and then found, who were the right contacts for those list of domains, or basically e-com stores. We did start with Shopify before later on moving to BigCommerce and others. So we did all that, and then so I think that was pretty seamless from our end. Definitely appreciate sort of being up to date with like a weekly meeting. How are things going? And I mean, obviously, this is new to us, and then I think for any new cold outbound email program, my expectations were, I mean, relatively like it would take a while to start to get to some responses. I was actually surprised that we got some early on, and then I think there was almost like we reached the point where we had gotten to like maybe some of the early adopter type folks who like do answer emails, and then we realized we needed to iterate on some things, which we can talk about in a minute. But yeah, I was pleased with the onboarding experience. Not too much effort from my side. You guys kept us posted, and then we kind of have a Slack channel where you give us the where you get more information from us if you need, or you book a meeting and things like that. So that was all very good. And then I was kind of pleasantly surprised with some initial demand created and meetings booked, and then we had to iterate from there at that point.
Right. And would you say the communication has, like with us, has been thorough and timely? And have we gotten back to you with like any concerns you had, or anything that you needed from us? How has that experience been? Has it been seamless? Has it been like, just talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, that has always been seamless. Even if there's something that we need to be fixed or clarification on, then I think the responses are always very timely. And even if you can't answer it there, there's a follow up and stuff like that. So that's all been very good.
Great. And then talk to us a little bit about the quality of these meetings that we have booked. I know there has been like some initial response that we got really good, and then we had to iterate because of deliverability issues. Talk to us a little bit about that and the quality of leads that are now coming in with, let's say, companies like Boiler Room and their size in terms of revenue, companies like FKA brands who are in like multiple countries and above 40 million in revenue. How's the lead quality coming in now?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think early on, like I said, I think there were some early adopter types, people kind of responded, a couple of those have converted. So that's been a great. We have a free trial, so obviously it does take a little while to kind of get to conversion. So you have a 30-day free trial, but then we've had some of those folks who started out as just a cold outreach that have converted. So that's been great to see. You guys revisited sort of deliverability. You added new prospect, and then you've been following up with original with new kind of message angles. So that seems like that's resulted in some more responses and meetings, like you mentioned, Prakar, with Boiler Room and FK and things like that. And I mean, some of these could be bigger opportunity, which is great to see. Obviously, with our process, we'll see how those pan out, but I think it's great to see that top of funnel kind of growing again.
Amazing. That's good to hear. And talk to us a little bit about the additional help that we have been providing in any way of sort, like in shape or form, to strengthen your outbound, let's say with additional content to help out with inbound, because we wanted to like see you succeed. So talk to us about, have you guys enjoyed that experience with us? And yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that one is interesting because I feel like my co-founder and I are both technical co-founders, not a lot of direct go-to-market experience. We're usually the buyers before this. And so I think where we needed help and education and practice is around getting our messaging out in like video format and long form writing format. We haven't done that much of that. It's for us it's PowerPoint, it's meetings one-on-one, but kind of like recording stuff or writing things down in a way. And I think if we did that without any help, we'd be the guys kind of trying to read a teleprompter or a script and messing up and looking like idiots. So I think that's been a big help in terms of how are we natural on our messaging and our video. How do we make it easy to understand, explain like I'm five kind of things. That's been a great help from you guys in what is the format, what is the messaging, and kind of like taking our very technical messaging and making it a little bit easier to digest, giving us feedback on that, and then all the way to getting blogs posted, getting videos kind of produced and edited and posted, kind of starting to set up a YouTube channel and a cadence of that. I think also just having the cadence around doing this every week has been great. So yeah, lots of good things to say there. I don't think we would have done anything like that without your guys' help on that. So that's been great, and I think we definitely want to continue more of that.
That's great to hear. Yeah, I've been enjoying doing that with you guys. So absolutely been fun, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great to hear. To people watching this client interview, would you suggest to them that they work with us to generate leads, to help out with outbound infrastructure, like to produce content or anything for that matter, to be a go-to-market partner?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely recommend you guys, Digital Creatives. I think it's been like we mentioned, it's been a great experience. We've gotten results. Obviously, we started from a place of not knowing how to approach and not knowing some of these areas, both on the cold outbound side as well as the content side. So, been a lot of help there. So, I would recommend anybody who's in that kind of position, or even maybe a little bit more advanced, but still would be a great benefit to work with you all.
Amazing. Preeti, do you have anything to ask? Anything to add here?
Oh, that was everything. Thank you.
That was everything? Okay. Thank you so much, Indy, for helping us with this client interview. Of course, we appreciate you guys a lot, and it's been a lot of fun working with you. So there you go. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.